SOS Wrestling Network back at you guys once again. We're at New Japan's not even road to, I almost said road to, but this is the official Castle Attack night one and night two right here. And you probably expected me to have a lot of tears, a lot of sorrow, a lot of all that good stuff, because by this point I'm sure you guys know what happened, but it's all good. We persevere, man, and we are the almighty SOS Wrestling Network. So if it's your first time checking us out, do us a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Tell us what you thought about the show. Tell us what you thought your favorite match was, favorite moment. Hell, if you didn't like this show, if you thought the show was shit, let us know down in the comment section below. Just let us know your thoughts. And I'm the Pro Wrestling Fly Guy, and I'm joined by my illustrious tag team partner, the man across the pond himself. In my honest opinion, the king of the UK. LK is here. What's up?
Fucking other king of the king. Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. Apologies, everyone. There was no content on my end for several days. If I told you about the issues with the internet, you wouldn't fucking believe me. Moved house, so touch wood, it's all good. It's all up and running. And I've got like right now I've got a new desk area. So I've got this desk which has two shelf levels. So one I have a TV on, which I've connected to my laptop with a HDMI. The New Japan show this morning when I woke up, made a morning coffee, and watched the show on the TV because obviously just connected to my laptop rather than having to move the laptop around. So when I'm doing this show, I can view notes rather than have to hear click click click. I could just see the notes all there. I got a mini fridge next to it. I am living, as I've always said, I'm living the dream. The house is magnificent. This is apart from my family home, this is actually the first house, because I've lived in, I think in America you guys call it apartments. This is the first house I've lived in for, fuck me, about 4 or 5 years. So it's strange getting used to walking up flights of stairs to go to your bedroom.
Dude, I'm glad that the move went well. I'm glad that we're here to talk about this. You know what I mean? And I know you at this point you probably still got some stuff that you need to unpack because you're kind of
Oh
still set.
no, dude. I moved on Wednesday, and I literally today I finished. This afternoon I finished completely unpacking everything.
Ah, shit, credit to LK, man. It's probably still some stuff I have here at my spot that I haven't unpacked yet, I'm sure. It's just like, I'm like, damn, I ain't unpacked that yet. So credit to LK on the move, man. Shit, credit to him even having all of his stuff unpacked because that's an accomplishment in itself.
Unpacked and still watching New Japan. Yeah, literally, it was so beautiful. Because I was like, this morning I was in a really good mood because I knew there was like, do you know, you just have the little bits like, putting away like things that go under cupboards and in cupboards and then loft. There was little things I need to be doing, but I was like, you know what, I can sit down, I can relax and look around and be like, yep, this is where I'm going to be for a while. So I can sit down on the desk. And I used to have that desk area that I fucking loved. I loved that more than a straight man should. So being able to, be, especially in what's going on with the world, being able to have some good luck is magnificent. But we're here to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, not my sexy Lexi little desk.
Yeah.
I am on it, and we're going to talk about, I'm presuming we're going to go night one, then night two. That's what I'm assuming we're going to go down.
We might as well, man. Like, dude, because there were kind of a lot of surprising results between night one and night two, and we're going to break those results down right here. And the first shout out to the attendance that we got here. We had an attendance of 1,846 people in the building in Osaka Joe Hall. So yeah, well, it's great to see those numbers. It's not quite the numbers that we're used to, maybe the 2019, 2018 era, but we all know what it is. So getting 1,800 people, almost 1,900 in this building, still is a great credit. So first match we got.
And sorry to cut you off there. That's an equivalent is an actual jam-packed rammed Kurikan Hall, and that's what they got in Osaka Joe Hall. That's just kind of to let everyone know aesthetically how that actually would look if you shoved 1,846 people, because Kurikan Hall sold out is what 1.85 or 1.9 at a push. I think with the balconies open. So realistically, they had a full Kurikan Hall, but in Osaka Joe Hall. So if you're watching it, it will look empty. So please, especially night one, night two attendance was much better, nearly double. But it did look empty. Like when I turned it on, I was like, shit, this looks really fucking empty.
And I mean, this is kind of where we are in the world. It's not necessarily in attendance numbers, and also too, this is also a New Japan thing. It's not anything new. Whenever there's like back-to-back night shows, we've seen this in the past. Maybe the show with the, I guess you're trying to say with the higher stakes, with the matches with the higher stakes, will probably get the better attendance number. And if night two, once I look at it, has the better attendance number, there's no reason why it didn't. I mean, there's a reason why it had a higher attendance number than night one. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of like night two. If you look at it on paper, had the higher stakes, so I can definitely understand it.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you were told on the weekend and you have a weekend off, and I mean these tickets I bet aren't cheap, and you're being told, you guys, what show do you want to watch? You're gonna go and watch the second one because that's the title match. Like I said, the stake. So I think this is just people who are like, oh fuck it, like I'm busy Sunday, so I'll go on the Saturday. But yeah, I'm really interested to see why they're doing these double. Is it, do you reckon, so they could get doubles worth of attendance, or so basically equaling out? In their mind, realistically, they drew 5,000 because they had the 3.5 and the
Yeah.
1.8. If that's what they're doing, but then surely it costs more to run double. Surely they had to pay double amount of rent for the building because they had to run it twice.
Yeah, that's true. I know with the New Japan New Beginning tours in the past, they have ran dual night shows. I don't know if they could run them concurrently, like back to back nights, but I know they have had like New Japan in Hiroshima, New Japan in Osaka. They've done stuff like that before. So it's maybe not different for the New Beginning tour, but for this Castle Attack, maybe it was a little different. I think it's also because with these New Japan shows in this post CV era that we a lot of times, okay, get what most six matches on the show, and we all know you can't tell the story that you need to tell with a lot of these guys here with this having six matches. So you're gonna have two nights,
Yeah,
So
I guess because of COVID, in reality, they can't go 4 or 5 hours like they normally do. Because if in reality night one they could have chopped off everything apart from Yano, Owens, White, Ishii, Okada, and Evil, because the three matches prior were just basically prelims for the next night. So those three matches, one both nearly being 30 and the other one being nearly 15. That's an hour and 15, not including entrances. So you're probably looking about hour 45. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, that makes a lot of sense because I would have hated to have missed a few of these matches on this show.
no, 100%, man. And I guess I'm glad you say that. We can kind of like review night one. I could tell you what give the result to these opening three contests and just tell you what I think about it, and I can volley it over to you. Um, the first match we got on the show is we had a trios match between Satoshi Kojima, Hiroshi Tenzan, and Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on the United Empire's Jeff Cobb, Will Ospreay, and Great O'Khan right here. We get the United Empire team getting a victory over a little over 10 minutes, the Oscar on Hiroshi Tenzan right here. And dude, honestly, too, I don't know if it just bleeds from night one to night two. Okay, this is maybe my honest opinion, but even though the United Empire have been the ones getting a majority of the victories whenever these teams are matched up, honestly, the ones who have been really shining to me are the elder statesmen, the guys like Kojima, the guys like Tenzan. They've been the ones who pretty much been shining because the United Empire is going to get the victory. But I think this in loss, the elder statesmen have looked really, really strong. So, and I think that's going to continue over the night too, right here. And the second and third matches kind of bleed into each other because we got two special singles matches back to back, which is tied into the heavyweight tag title match we're going to talk about in night two. We had Yoshihashi and Tangaloa. Tangaloa actually got the victory over Yoshihashi with ape shit. I thought that was and I thought that was actually a really, really good match, and I love the part where Tangaloa is talking to Yoshihashi. I thought that was a really, really nice touch, and I also like to where the second match that we got, really the third match on this card, but the second match in this feud, the Hiroki Goto versus Tama Tonga. I like the backdrop where they're giving us the singles, I guess the record between these two guys, because I did not know that Tama Tonga had not ever beaten Hiroki Goto coming to this point. So they gave us that little backdrop on commentary. This match didn't go as long as the previous match. This match went almost half the time, honestly. This match is almost like 6 minutes, 39 seconds right here. We got the GTR on Goto, so we actually picked the wrong people who were going to win the matches. We had Yoshihashi and
Dude,
Tama Tonga.
the whole fucking shows we picked the wrong fucking people. It's one of those. And apologies, I didn't get to upload the fucking preview show because I didn't have internet till Saturday. And then by Saturday, literally my internet came and it was like, oh fuck. And you know what? I can't really upload when the show's already happened because I didn't watch the Saturday one live. So I was like, oh fuck, I felt really guilty because we actually did a killer of a show on Tuesday night covering previewing both of these shows. Just the internet cut Wednesday morning and there was nothing I could do. But fucking everything we predicted didn't happen. And I'm kind of bummed out from it because we're like, excuse me, and where we watched all the Road 2 shows, like every single Road 2 show that has happened, a review has been uploaded on the channel. and it'll be the same for the New Japan Cup. This will be the only channel not doing 2-minute clips, giving highlights or any of that bullshit. We're the only channel giving full-length reviews for all these New Japan Cup shows, like we have done for many, many years. But because we've watched so many of these Road to shows, excuse me, because the fact we watch them, does it actually kind of make us think it's predictable so that we get swerved? As in, do you know what I mean? Do you reckon people who don't watch those Road to shows, when they tune in to these big shows, do you reckon, when they watched it, do you reckon they were like, oh yeah, that'll happen, and they get it right? But because we watch all the Road to shows and kind of really kind of overanalyze everything, we kind of make ourselves believe that this is going to happen when in reality it's not.
That's a good point, man. Because somebody who's maybe just tuning in, like you say, and maybe not on all the Road to shows, they maybe not would be able to break this down as intricately as we could, and looking at all the aspects and all the outcomes and whatnot. So that's a very fair point, because I think us watching these shows and watching these Road to shows, which I guess credit to them, New Japan, is booking wise, it makes us think about different scenarios that can play out, as opposed to just being like, okay, I'm going to watch this show and I think this dude's going to win. So I think that's a good credit on them, to where if you're watching the product consistently, you maybe put some things in doubt.
I'm not happy about the Yoshihashi treatment on this show. I feel personally attacked. The fact that Yoshihashi got 2 L's over this weekend really is heartbreaking, and it put a damper on my mood. Watching when I whacked the first night on and Hashi lost, I was like, oh, it's fine, he's gonna win the belts tomorrow. It's fine, he's gonna win the belts tomorrow, and he fucking didn't. Fucking piece of shit.
It's like, I'm done with you now. I'm
totally... I'm not done. The hope is there.
No.
I'm praying for if we got a 32-man New Japan Cup again, touch wood. I'm praying for a quarterfinals run for Yoshihashi. That's my prayer.
I think he might get a deep New Japan Cup run. I think that's a good shout.
If he gets to the quarterfinals, I will buy a piece of Yoshihashi merch.
Ooh. I would got to see if they have some on press on tees, or then a New Japan.
I think they have some on the New Japan European store.
Okay.
It'll just be like one of the old ones that he had, because they just basically they've obviously got lots of old stock, so they basically just flog it on New Japan Europe, because no one else will buy it. So I know there's like some really old Okada ones, some old Ibushi, some old Naito, Ishii's, so there'll probably be a Yoshihashi fucking thing. Or I could, what I could get? I could get a. Do you know everyone has the not scarves? Yeah, scarves. I could get a. Do you know there's the Rainmaker scarf?
Yeah.
I should get the Yoshihashi scarf and put it on, hang it up on my wall.
No, dude, get it, man. And then when it gets too cold out, you can even rock it.
I just literally pictured my girlfriend's face walking into my room, and there's a fucking Yoshihashi fucking scarf on the wall. Oh god, no fun time that night.
Oh man, and also shit. So we get past the undercard preliminary stuff on this show, LK, and we get to the, hate to say it, but the important stuff, the stuff that actually matters on this card, because honestly, this card was like a 3-match card, and that is what it is, but that's what it was. So on this show, you have 4th match on the show, excuse me. We have for the Provisional King of Pro Wrestling trophy. It's a YTR style Texas strap match. So I believe the voting was because Chase Owens was deciding that this match that he and Yano were going to have was going to be a strap match, to where, if you guys aren't familiar with the strap match, which if you watch WWE's version of it, the rules kind of vary. Sometimes they allow pinfalls in their strap matches, but then the traditional strap match is pretty much you touch all 4 corner pads before your opponent does, you win the match over. Those are traditionally the rules. So the vote was, I think it was between the traditional style the traditional style strap match and the Yano style strap match, which is you don't touch the turnbuckle pads. You pretty much take off all the turnbuckle pads here. So I thought that was a nice touch, having the Yano spin on the Texas strap match right here, which is a stipulation nowadays you really don't see too often. That strap match is a match you really don't see a whole lot, because it's kind of a weird scenario, and I maybe for casual fans it's kind of hard to pick up. Just like, oh, okay, well, I don't really know what they're doing, but
I think WWE's credit, and that this doesn't happen very often, in WWE's credit, they do a good job with the. If I remember, I can't exactly remember the match, but the last strap match, they kind of had these big pillars with lights on. One was green, one was red. And once all four were lit that colour, then they won. I thought that looked really, really cool and made the match quite exciting. And that's a show, actually. We haven't seen a strap match, a proper traditional old school style strap match like that. And, well, I think they did one in AEW a while back, but we haven't seen one in WWE in a very, very long time.
Right? And then that same token, I remember because one of the, I hate to not trying to dig me off from New Japan, but strap match is the topic. One of the like more memorable strap matches that I can remember was the strap match with Fully Loaded '99 was between Triple H and The Rock, and that match didn't have that stipulation. It was a straight up pinfall, submission style match, and that still was a strap match. So this is pretty much what stipulations they're carrying over to the strap match. And I think another popular strap match, I think maybe the one you're alluding to, is a JBL versus Eddie Guerrero. I think they had a strap match where they were doing that as well. So WWE does a really good job with the strap matches. I think with the Yano kind of twist of you have to take the turnbuckle pad off, I think they added a little bit to it, add the little Yano twist to it. This match was fun. I thought it was all right. It wasn't, I didn't think it was going to be a, quote unquote match of the year, 5-star, take it to the Tokyo Dome style match, but it didn't have to be. This was fun. I enjoyed it. Like I said before, this is probably one of the matches that I predicted correctly. Yano won, and he should probably never lose the KOPW provisional trophy. So just keep him having that. And let's keep him with those long ring introductions. So I thought this was fun. It was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. I didn't take any notes for these shows, because with New Japan, and I know I always come on with you, and we just read the card and we just shoot the shit. But it was kind of one of those. It happened, it being 36, nearly 48 hours after the point of it happening. It's one of those where it happened. And it's like, I remember some pretty nasty bumps on the outside, but besides that, it was kind of there. And I thought that was a major problem with night one. Besides the JY, Ishii, and Okada and Evil matches, nothing else really mattered. As in, you could not watch these 4 matches that we've already covered, and you've missed nothing. Like, you've literally missed nothing that you haven't already seen on the Road 2 shows. Like, we've seen Goto and Tama Tonga get at it. We've seen Lowe and my boy Hash Brown Yoshihashi go at it. So it's kind of like it was, let's get on with it. I just wish we could have just had Jay White and Ishii and Okada and Evil on night 2, but obviously because of, restrictions from around the world, that can't happen. But I'm just glad we're hitting New Japan Cup stage, because I'm glad I don't have to watch a 2-night marathon again, because I'm not a fan of them. I've changed my mind. I'm not a fan of these 2 nights.
Really?
No, man. Literally, those 4 prelim matches, were basic Road 2 show matches, and we just watched 9 or 10 Road 2 shows. So to me, it's it's a Road 2 show. The first 4 matches were a Road 2 show in a bigger building. It's like, you could have done without it. You really, really could.
As you look at it, you could have maybe merged some of these. You got a fair point. You have a really, really fair point.
Dude, they could have done a fun 10-man tag on the final Korakuen show, where you could have had Tonga Loa, Tama Tonga with United Empire teaming up, take on Tanahashi, Tenkoji, Hash Brown, and Hirooki Goto. That could have been a 10-man elimination match. You know how much I love those, and that could have been you could have gained the exact same thing as what you got here. It's literally just to build. The first 3 matches were build up for night 2. So why do we have to have build up on night 1 when we could just have one night rather than these fucking 2 nights? More New Japan the better. For me as well as you, but I, for one, just felt like I kind of wasted my time with the first 3 matches of the show. And the Yano Owens was it was funny, it was entertaining, it wasn't great. We enjoyed both, but it was just kind of it didn't feel like a big show until we got to the final 2 matches. But we're already an hour and a half deep at this point.
Now, with a show like this, you actually do make a fair point. We've already built this stuff up. We don't really necessarily need to have the undercard matches at this point, unless you just want to get people on the show and quote unquote get them wins. Because if you look at a second night, Night two, a lot of our predictions were incorrect, so maybe you wanted to get some of these guys. Like they didn't even have Naito and Ibushi on the show, so did you necessarily need to have the United Empire wrestle, Tanahashi, Kojima and Tenzan? You didn't need to have that match happen technically.
Yeah,
You
no.
did.
If they did something else, then I wouldn't have really been bothered. If they did anything else or built up, what the fuck is Suzuki doing at the minute? Give us Suzuki versus Honma. Yeah, it's we know he's gonna win, but it's something different rather than on a big show. It'll be like WrestleMania being 2 nights this weekend, which don't like, but we move. It'll be like night one having, so say night two has Roman Reigns versus Edge and fucking The Miz fuck me versus Bobby Lashley for argument's sake. So then on night one of WrestleMania they're gonna do a fucking tag match combining them. Like they wouldn't do that. They would just put big
It
singles
wouldn't.
matches on both nights because it's a big deal. Here it's like you don't do that. You don't give. Yeah, I just felt they wasted time. I really could have dealt with some Suzuki on here. We have Suzuki versus Honma. You could have given Makabe,
Shingo.
Sanada, Shingo, Makabe something to do. You could have literally done on this one Tenkoji versus Sanada and Shingo. That you could have done that. Or you could have done Suzuki and Taichi against Shingo and Sanada. Just you could have done anything, but they just gave away preview matches for the show that's happening tomorrow. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more it's actually pissed me off quite a bit on night one. But we'll get to the good bit here, and that's all the negative Nelly out of the way because these next two matches are fucking great.
Oh, so fucking good, man. And then the penultimate match of this show on night one, we had Switchblade Jay White taking on and defeating. Credit to the English commentary right here because unbeknownst to me, okay, I don't know if you didn't know this, but I didn't know Jay White had an 0-2 record against Tomohiro Ishii. You kind of almost forget about that stuff in the landscape of New Japan because when those matches happened, I believe they were in the G1 Climax. I think the first one was, I think, it was either 2019 one and the second one was last year. So he had a 2-0 record against Jay White right here. He pretty much sent him packing from New Japan, which they said was 2 weeks, but I swore that was more like a month. I don't know. I could be wrong, but felt more like a month than 2 weeks. Maybe it was. Maybe in the calendar it was 2 weeks, but like actually it was really like a month. So who knows what the real time frame was in that aspect. But this match right here was pretty fucking incredible, man. This match went, I believe, about 25 minutes. Let me get the actual timestamp of this match right here. This match went about 25 minutes and 42 seconds right here. The ending sequence of this match, man, was incredible. Was super incredible. They had I went into this match knowing that Jay White was going to win, but the ending sequences had me questioning, like, damn, is Jay White going to win this match? Is Ishii going to actually pull it off? So credit to both men right here. It was fucking incredible, and not to even delve too, deep as far as the Forbidden Door aspect. And, I'm one of those guys who, of course, I'll go on record. I didn't really want that to happen. It's happening now. So I'm, taking it as a grain of salt or whatever. But certain people or whatever, who are maybe participating in this type of stuff going on, it's crazy because Jay White has turned into what Geto wanted Kenny Omega to be as a Bullet Club leader. Honestly, when he first came in and when he first was there, the character work I felt was there. Maybe the in-ring work was kind of, hit or miss, whatever. Jay White is one of the best wrestlers in the world at this point. I think it's time for people to start acknowledging that. And I know people give him credit for his character work that he does, because he's a great character, but I think Jay White's coming full circle. He is definitely an amazing wrestler. We all know that Ishii is an amazing wrestler, but Jay White at this point is, I've said him, he's definitely in like my top 3 favorite wrestlers because he's just so fucking good. And he's one of the rare guys to where if he actually beats a Tetsuya Naito, I'm not even upset because I just like Jay White that much. I'm just like, I'm like, damn, he beat Naito, but I like Jay White, so it's okay. So it's just weird. I like Jay White a whole lot. Like I said, he's one of my top 3 wrestlers right here. He gets the victory right here. And yeah, I just think it's time, okay, if people aren't proclaiming Jay White to be one of the best wrestlers in the world, I think it's time for that. And I'm going to go on record not to even kind of compare here. Controversial statement. Jay White's better than Kenny Omega all around.
God, you're going to get some heat for that.
I don't care. Character work, in a ring work. Jay White's better than him. I might be a little biased already, but I just feel Jay White is the complete package, and he is handling business right now, LK. So that's my
Ye-
thoughts on the match. And Jay White himself.
Yeah, very fair statement. And that's the beauty of wrestling, isn't it? It's all a matter of everyone's opinion. Because to some people they might be like, they are fucking hate Jay White, and to others they might love him. I think he's absolutely brilliant. I think he's developed into a top star, and it's been done the proper way. Young Lions, excursion, come back of a character. Characters evolved, developed, turned heel, and has been great. If when he first won the world title from Tanahashi, I'd be in IWGP Heavyweight. It was kind of like, oh, okay, we'll see what they do here. Let's see what they do here. But if he won the belt tomorrow, or if he won the belt at Dominion, you wouldn't go, oh, really? You'd be like, fair enough, game. That's game. Yeah, hope he has a great run compared to last time. So it's just a proof of how far he's come, and his character work is especially in an era where you can't, have the crowd loud. So the atmosphere is a bit dampened. Like, I find that him and El Phantasmo have really benefited from this because of how loud and vocal they are. So they're kind of, working a TV audience because they know the fans at home are hearing what they're saying because, there's not much noise minus clapping. And they just they've done a great job. He's a great heel, great work. And this was a great match. We've seen these guys interact on these Road 2 shows, the exchanges they've been having with the counter sequences, and it was all there in this one. It was my personal, probably best match of the two nights, possibly. It's kind of a toss-up between this and one on the night 2 show, which we'll get to in a minute. But this was really great. If I recommend anything, is for you guys to if you're short on time, you're like, fuck, I only have half hour, please check out this match because this was absolutely great, and it should have been main event in my opinion. It should have been main event.
I was thinking about that, but I thought about it. The reason why this wasn't main event, okay, is because if you think about the names that are in these four names in this category, you got Ishii, Jay White, Okada, Evil. The only guy that hasn't been an IWGP Heavyweight Champion in that four is Tomohiro Ishii, and they might look at that as a slight against him. And at this point, whether people like it or not, and I was thinking about this. Evil is a former champion, and once you win that title, I was thinking about it, I was like, dude, you're a threat now. So he kind of had the main event against Okada. Like, I see you exactly 100% what you're saying, but the way the stuff has been positioned with New Japan, Evil and Okada had the main event this show. They really did, because Evil's a former champion, and you can't like discredit this. And not saying you were doing that, but I'm just talking about this the masses or whoever.
Yeah, of course.
You can't discredit that, and you kind of have to give Evil his credit. He's a former double champion, man, and shit, he's held the title like later than Okada. At this point, he's doing Okada, giving him some main event shine if you want to look at it like that, because Okada hadn't held the title in 14 months, which they'll allude to here at the end of this match, which ties us into the main event right here. I've seen a lot of people talk about, hey, if you shave the first 15-20 minutes off of this match, it'd be really, really good. I say, fuck that noise, man. This match is really good. This is probably in Evil's run, maybe aside, because I'm really fond of the Jingu Stadium match with Naito. I think that match is really good. I think this is one of Evil's top two matches in this run. Well, ooh, that match he had with Yoshihashi, I think, was it the G1? That was good too. He had a really good match with Yoshihashi in G1. I don't know where you rank him, but this is one of Evil's best Bullet Club outings here. Him and Okada put on a really good match too, and I know people have been super critical of the money clip, but I love the story, and I love the little cliff note that the English commentary put on it, to where they're like, dude, Okada wants to submit him with the money clip. He could beat him with the Rainmaker anytime he wanted to towards the end of this match. But I just love how he's trying to submit it with the money clip. He's trying to submit the money clip. Then Okada's just like, okay, fuck it. He's not going away with the money clip, so I gotta put him away at the Rainmaker. And a lot of people can feel however they want about Okada. Once I start loving an Okada match, I'm like, okay, this is getting really good. Once he hits the whatever you want to call, I call it either the reverse Rainmaker or the Rainmaker remix, that discus Rainmaker. Once he hits that, I'm like, okay, we getting into big business right here, because he don't break that out unless there's some big stuff going on, and he broke that out in here in this match, and I'm definitely a fan of that move. So shout out to Okada for breaking that move out right here, man. And there were points in this match I thought Evil was going to pull it out. I really did, because the Dick Togo interference, it was just so like, damn, is he about to beat Okada right here? Is that what's about to go down? But Okada pulls this match out, 28 minutes, 11 seconds, puts Evil away with the Rainmaker. And ultimately, when I think about it, even though Okada won in the Tokyo Dome and Evil didn't, you could almost argue Okada needed this match more than Evil did, and he got the victory right here, LK. And I like his post match, what he said. And it's kind of going to bleed over into night two. Okada was the only one this whole fucking time that was like, I had no interest in being double champion. I always wanted to be the IWGP heavyweight champion, and he hadn't had that belt in 14 months. I think that's something that people forget about. He hadn't had the belt in a while, and we're going to New Japan Cup time. This dude's a heavy favorite. I'm not saying he's going to win, but Okada's a heavy favorite, and goddamn it, I know he's had that belt for a long time, but once he gets that belt back again, I'm personally going to be excited because he hasn't had it for a long time. So,
Yeah, it's I can kind of get why people would be uninterested in the first 10 minutes of Okada and Evil if they kind of, like you said, didn't catch any of the Road 2 shows. They kind of haven't been seeing the build. They just see it as they just, it's a big show. They saw it promoted on the social media platforms that New Japan have. Go, oh, cool, it's a big show this weekend, double shot. Cool, I'm in. They turn on and they get no title matches. And they had to follow Jay White and Ishii because that it was such a peak and such a high that they took the crowd on, or, the crowd, aka, people watching at home. They took you on a high that you kind of on the come down. So for the first 10 minutes of any match, you could have put Naito and Ibushi on here. The first 10 minutes, aren't going to be magnificent because you just saw a banger. Which is why I think White and Ishii should have been main event, because it was always going to be a better in-ring wrestling match. But no, these guys were out there. They delivered a really good match, nearly 30 minutes. Made sense for Okada to win, and I agree with your assessment that Okada is a big threat for the New Japan Cup. And I'm excited to get back into some tournament action, after this new beginning, after Castle Attack. It's nice to kind of go back to old school tournaments, and I'm looking forward to bringing the coverage. And hopefully we get some news on who's going to be in the fucking tournament. It's only in like 4 days, isn't it? 5 days.
Starts Friday, so we might want to get some, I guess some information about who's going to be in. And I guess that kind of bleeds us over into night two, okay, to be honest. So we might as well get into night two.
Yep.
Night two over in Osaka Joe Hall, man. Like I said, I hate to just be that guy, but I think you'd agree with me. Night two is a night with more stakes, and you probably are right. If they wanted to, they could have combined a lot of these shows, and how early both of these shows were. They could have had 7 matches on these shows, and because if you want, you could have took out if you wanted to just take out any of the Okan Tanahashi prelim stuff, you could have taken that out. Let me see what else you could have taken out if you wanted to. You didn't necessarily have to have the 2 singles matches between Guerrillas of Destiny and Yoshihashi and Goto. You didn't necessarily have to have them. I appreciate them, but you didn't have to have them. You could have taken those out. I'm cool with Chase Owens and Toru Yano. That can stay. Evil versus Okada. Jay White versus Ibushi, or not Ibushi, versus Ishii. That stuff stays. So you're actually right. They could have condensed these shows into one show if they wanted to. New Japan's just fucking greedy at this point. And
I hope this is just a COVID thing. I hope this is just a COVID thing, and I hope that once this fucking madness is all done and over with, and we get back to normal, that the card originally was meant to be, the fucking this card, add on Ishii, add on Evil and Okada, and that would have been the full card. That's what I'm assuming. Because imagine if you combine that into one big show. I think you got greatness. Absolutely. Like, isn't a really, really good show. Like, the social media that I've seen, obviously everyone's Twitter feed is different. Every one person's, because of the different people you follow. Mine's been like very uncaring about this whole tour in general. Obviously, there's been lots of injuries that have happened, and it's unfortunate. But, I thought that this show, because I gave night 1 like a tie just because of the 2 last matches. But this show was a win, night 2. I really enjoyed myself for 2.5 hours. I really did. Every match on the show I really, really enjoyed.
I did too, man. And even though I enjoyed most of these matches, and a lot of them are really good, I call night 2, LK, a series of unfortunate events as far as my predictions and as far as my wrestling feelings go. So, I mean, this is like, oh gosh, I was like, yeah, is this, because I was like, this can't be life, or this can't be wrestling like life right now. But lo and behold, my friend, it is, and we might as well get into it. So the first match we got on this night, I didn't see this coming out of, I don't know, anywhere. I didn't see this coming, okay. And this should have been an indication of how tonight was going to go. We have Satoshi Kojima and Hiroshi Tenzan Tenkozy defeating the United fucking Empire, Jeff Cobb and Will Ospreay. We got Kojima
Oh.
beating Jeff Cobb with a lariat in under 10 minutes. That should have been an indicator to us, okay, to how tonight was going to go, because in any year in New Japan, I'll say post New Japan World, or hell, even I say post Wrestle Kingdom. Which one was that? Where Okada was crying in the Tokyo Dome? What was that 12? What was that, Wrestle Kingdom 8? No, it was one of them. Well, post Wrestle Kingdom. Whenever you will see this opening match on a show like this, it's pretty much aforementioned that, hey, the younger, more, not really more established, but the guys who are getting pushed at this point are going to win this match. This was turned on its head ultimately when we get Kojima defeating Jeff Cobb. Pretty much, I don't say putting a halt to the momentum that the United Empire built up over this tour, because they were racking up tons of wins. But I was just like, Jesus. I was like, Tenkozy just beat Ospreay and Cobb. I'm like, all right, that's interesting. Okay, what are your thoughts on that, man?
Oh man, you know, everyone. We always say how Tenzon and Kojima are both really still very good, and they need to be doing things, but they really didn't need to be beating fucking Jeff Cobb. The guy's been on like a roll during this Road 2 show. He's been beating people left, right, and center. We talked about them having a good build for the New Japan Cup coming up. So when it came out, I'm like, cool, Cobb's pinning Tenzon, let's move on with our lives. And then when Kojima beat him, I was like, a mixture of emotions. I was like, fuck, Kojima got a win. And then I was like, oh man, they built up Jeff Cobb for so long just to fuck him in the ass. Like, they really done him dirty. Because think about it, Kojima and Tenzon, and this is in all due respect, both former IWGP Heavyweight Champions, etc., G1 winners, etc. But they're like, what, nearly 50? And they just knocked off, Cobb, who's been on a roll. And it's like, man, that was not needed. My assumption is we're going to get Tenkoji against Gorillas of Destiny, which is fucking cool by me because it gives them something to do and they deserve it. But, Cobb is going to be in New Japan Cup, presumably.
Yep.
And he's just taken... Imagine the threat he would be if he went the whole tour undefeated. Imagine the threat he would be if he's just been murdering people. He's a guy who can be like a dark horse in the tournament, who can get to the quarterfinals and get like screwed over by Yano or something.
Okay, this night 2, in my opinion, booking wise, was legit WWE booking, because it was like, what ultimately, and not even putting my personal bias aside, and we'll get to that. I'm like, what is New Japan doing right now? Like, it's good to be unpredictable. Unpredictability is always good, but when you kind of are being unpredictable just to kind of be unpredictable, it's almost like
you become predictable. You become predictable by doing that, because then you turn on a show going, right, because the way to predict a WWE pay-per-view correctly is to go, the best way for this match to finish is by, say, Drew McIntyre winning. So because Drew McIntyre winning makes sense, they'll go with Sheamus winning, just to swerve you, we got you. And it's like, and 4 or 5 of these matches out of the 6, the winners were wrong. Like, the winners were just wrong, and no one can give this it's long-term story planning booking bullshit when there's a 32-man tournament coming up. So in a lot of these cases, just like, this is the feud ender, and it's like the Naito main event, that's a feud ender. The Tanahashi Great Khan, that's a feud ender. Gorillas of Destiny and Chaos, feud ender, bam, it's nail in the coffin. They are winners of the feud and they are losers of the feud. And doing it like this, and this is just the opening match, so it's not really, and it's more of an annoyance, because I was looking forward to Cobb really picking up momentum heading into the New Japan Cup, but also one other thing, Ospreay really didn't do much, did he?
He didn't.
Is he rumored to be injured or anything like that? Because it's both nights. I didn't see him do much. In all due respect, of course.
Maybe he's just dialing it back, though, because, I mean, at this point, like I said, night 1 was a highlight of these elder gentlemen, and night 2 clearly was it. And also, too, we got to talk about in this match, okay, because we'd be hard-pressed not to, mention it. Hiroshi Tenzan did the Mongolian chops, and was not reprimanded for it at all. And they were like, oh, well, the commentary, English commentary is trying to say, well, he did like Korean chops and I'm like, okay, so
So
I,
they can suck my dick the next time they fucking give me a stipulation. How fucking buzzed we were about that. How fucking buzzed we were about the fact that it's a singles match that has some stakes in. The special singles match has some stakes. And if you're just gonna make stipulations just mean nothing, then I'm just not gonna bother watching your stipulation
I
matches or giving a fuck anymore. Like
like,
literally, they could have had like I would have loved it if Tenzon, like they were winding him up about the Ospreay's winding him up so much. The ref fucking got bumped. He did one, and then was like shh, like shushing the crowd. Don't make the noise. Don't make the noise. Don't make the noise, guys. Shh. Like that would have been fine.
that's
But
what I
no,
was gonna say. Agree
right
with
in
you.
front of the fucking referee. That was some dog shit. That was some pure dog shit. Even Vince wouldn't do that. It was literally like 2-3 weeks ago or a month ago that match took place, and we praised it so highly. We're like, oh, he can do some great story with this. I hope he gets some sort of kayfabe punishment, whether it'll be. Go on.
Okay.
What do you think?
No, he definitely should. Whether it be like, hey, you can't be a New Japan Cup, or you got to take this tour off. Hiroshi Tenzan needs some kayfabe punishment because I'm agreeing with you. If he would have did that when a ref was bumped and the referee didn't see it, no problems at all. Because it's like, damn, referee didn't see it, so I get it. I get it. Fine, that's cool. But you did it literally in front of the ref, and you did it twice. So I'm like, okay, well, is he not going to disqualify him? You're just letting that go? Okay, fine, sure. Do your thing.
Yeah, there better be some bad repercussions
Was
because
Vince Russo in Japan today?
yeah, fucking hell, Russo's new consultant of New Japan Pro Wrestling. But yeah, that was some mad stuff. Like opening match triggering, like a trigger warning when you watch that, because that is some fucking bad shit. Like,
Dude, okay, I was gonna say, dude, in the next match we got, man, I'm gonna be real. And people can hate on me for saying this, but the next match is probably the last match we get this book correctly on this show. To be 100% honest, because everything else after this goes to fucking hell in a handbasket. We have second match right here, the Chaos Trio of Toru Yano, Tomohiro Ishii, and Kazuchika Okada, fresh off his victory over Evil, defeating the Bullet Club trio of Chase Owens, Jay White, and Evil right here. And he defeats the team with the money clip. He puts Chase Owens in the money clip. He doesn't tap out. He passes out right here. And Okada, if he wants, he's on a roll right here. He didn't mention that he wants to challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, which, if you're a Kota Ibushi fan, you should be very terrified. And I'm glad that you're terrified. That's just me personally. But it's just like you should be terrified if Okada wins a New Japan Cup because he hadn't had the belt in a long time. And honestly, me personally, I think his days as heavyweight champion, that being Kota Ibushi, low key might be numbered, but we'll talk about that towards more at the end of the show. Yeah, this match is, like I said, is the last correctly booked match on this show because everything else after this is just like, okay, that's all right. That's we interesting. So we got Okada putting Chase Owens away from Money Clip. If Okada wants to, he could challenge for the Texas Heavyweight Championship belt. I don't think he's going to because he probably doesn't even know what the fuck that belt means. So yeah, we got the Chaos team winning. Okay.
yeah, it's. I think with this, you could have had it either way, but it's good to see Okada just pick up some momentum heading into the New Japan Cup. I would have preferred Ishii because he took a loss. I would have preferred Ishii to pin Owens. Just that's being nitpicky, but Ishii took a loss to Jay White to kind of build up Ishii towards the New Japan Cup. I wish that lots of people kind of build momentum. Like they could have had Jeff Cobb look like a monster heading into the New Japan Cup. They could have had Okada, which they have. Ishii. White being a heel villain, they could do lots, but in the end of the day, who are we? We're just a couple of fans watching this damn thing. But the match itself was solid. Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, there's nothing more you can really say about it. It was solid, you know. Uh, I mean, as we progress, man, then we got the tag team titles, the heavyweight tag team championships on the line next. We have the Girls of Destiny attempting to make their second defense against the team of Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto right here. Really good match, man. This match is a really good tag team title match, but ultimately, no bias because I love Girls of Destiny, but the wrong team won, man. Wrong team fucking won right here. Yoshihashi and Goto should have won, but Guerrillas of Destiny beat Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto in a little under 16 minutes. Gun stun on Hiroki Goto right here to get the victory. And once the 3 count happened, I was fucking shocked. Okay, I was shocked and I was appalled.
Yeah, I was.
Good match, but I was
Oh
appalled.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If credit where credit's due, really, 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 really good match. Shout out to both teams. They really busted their ass in there. But yeah, I was looking forward to coming on here calling Yoshihashi Mr. Double Champ, and I was gonna, be happy about it. And then he took the loss, and I was like, fuck. I went from Kojima Tenzon using Mongolian chops, Kojima pinning Jeff fucking Cobb, and then Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi not getting the wins. And I didn't understand why. Unless they're gonna have Guerrillas of Destiny go over to AEW during the New Japan Cup season, and they go as IWGP Heavyweight Tag Champs, because then if they go as Tag Champs, they can have tag title matches on the show. Unless that's kind of what they're planning on doing, it could be a reason.
Yeah,
But
that's
either
still
way,
pretty.
man, yeah. And I was expecting Tenkoji to come out after and challenge as well, and we didn't get
So was
that.
I. So was I. Like, and it would have made so much more sense if you would have had the United Empire win the match earlier, and you have Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi win, and have the Empire challenge them for the belts. That would have made that's too good for us right now, right, huh, New Japan? We can't have that. That's just too fucking easy and too fucking simple. Now you get Rose of Destiny, like you said, potentially, because after this match, they actually did call out, I believe, FTR, and they called out what the Good Brothers as well. So
Dude, hear
yeah,
me out.
like,
Hear me out on this one. So the anniversary show's coming up on Thursday, correct?
yep.
All about the history of New Japan. What if on that night we get Tenkoji challenging Gorillas of Destiny for the tag belts, and on an anniversary show, which is all about the history, you have 2 former IWGP Heavyweight Champions, 2 former G1 Climax winners take the belts off these guys in a great feel-good moment in a final title match at Budokan. That could be a magnificent fucking story.
That I would be for, because yeah, shout out to Tenkozi. If they're going to win, they might as well win the titles, and you
And
could
you got to do it from Guerrillas of Destiny because they're heels and they'll get some great heat. You don't want Goto and Hashi in there, so that could be fine. And then after that, you could have Tenkoji going up against
United Empire.
United Empire, even though they've already beaten. But it's
They'll find some way to shoehorn that in.
oh man, I'd love to see Tenkoji versus Golden Tekkers. I think that could be a great match. But yeah, I hope they do that. And any information, by the way, on the cards released, I'll do a video on when I finish work when I get back for the cards, like I did for the Castle Attack show.
Oh my God. Okay, I just saw this article, man, and it just kind of makes me fucking sick, bro.
Go
Like,
on, read. Unless it's about politics, read it.
no, it's not about politics. It's about the end of this show. Uh, the Intercontinental title is no more, man.
What are you on about?
Tokyo Sports is reporting the Intercontinental Heavyweight title was no more. So yeah, we'll talk about that towards the end of the show, man. But that just kind of tells us what happens. But yeah, the Intercontinental title is done now. So yeah, that just goes into this booking right here. This interesting. I don't understand what the fuck is going on with New Japan. But hey, speaking of not understanding stuff, we'll talk about more about that towards the end of the match, towards the end of the show. Excuse me. We have for the Never Weight Championship, and something I don't understand right here. We got Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on to defeating the Great O'Khan in 18 minutes and 44 seconds. I get that he rolled the Great O'Khan up. And actually, I'm going to be real, this match is better than the match they had at Wrestle Kingdom, and I like that match a lot. So, to me, this match is way better. I think Great O'Khan looked like a fucking monster in this match, but then you have the ending right here. You have Tanahashi, and they were trying to tell the story that, oh, Tanahashi hasn't defended the title since the Intercontinental strap back in 2017. I get it, but yeah, that's not the story that needs to be told, man. The story that needs to be told is Great O'Khan picking up his first singles championship because he is the dominator, and he's lost twice to this man now. He's lost twice to a falling ace, man. Like, oh my God, LK, they're gonna have Great O'Khan beat Naito in a feud, bro. I'm upset, but what this was
Um,
actually, like I said, I think this match is better than the match they had in the Dome,
Oh
but
yeah,
the result.
fucking oh, abso-fucking-lutely. The match at the Dome was diabolical. I would literally rather sit through fucking Tenzon in front of the ref hitting 95 Mongolian chops in a row than that. This match was much better. Just why on earth would you have Tanahashi win? Is it so that in the New Japan Cup it could be all if Tanahashi loses, they get a fucking never openweight title match?
It must be what it is, man. I don't.
Dude, but why would you have? Where can he go from here? Where can Great Khan go from here? But down.
That's bro. That what you just said ties into the main event as well. But we'll get to that.
It's
like,
it's so illogical. You have Tanahashi beat him at Wrestle Kingdom. You then have Great Khan beat him here, and then you guess what? You have a rubber match down the line, and it will mean something. Maybe in a G1, you can then put that in the main event and make it mean something. But they took Great Khan. He's come in. They did stuff with the United Empire, and they started off great. He then loses at Wrestle Kingdom. Ospreay loses at Wrestle Kingdom. Every big show, these boys job the fuck out. Every big show. Whoop-de-doo, Great Khan beat Tenzon. Not Tenzon, Kojima. Yeah, Tenzon. For the Mongolian chop. But fuck me, if it's it makes no sense. I can't. Great Khan could have become a star after this. He could have beat Tanahashi, got to the quarterfinals, maybe quarterfinals of the New Japan Cup, and you could have really built, and got him some momentum. You can't do this 50-50 booking. And what does Tanahashi gain with the never openweight belt? Is it people are reacting good to Tanahashi with the never openweight belt? Just stick him in there with Ishii. Yeah, that's great, but guess what? You could just do a fucking special singles match with the two. You don't need the never belt. Khan needs that never openweight belt now because he's a jobber now. He's lost to Tanahashi twice. It is what it is. It's like you said. It's the former race, and I have no idea what they're doing. Whether it's because it's the anniversary show and they want all the legends to look great, but man, it's just why you could have had Khan cheat to beat the fucker.
dude, man, like this was such the wrong decision, and this is gonna time. I almost wasn't ready to talk about the main event right now because I'm almost so fired up about so wrong decisions. But it ties into the to the penultimate match as well, dude. But Great Khan should have won right here, man. And as much as New Japan is trying to be unpredictable, they're being predictable and stuff like when you have to do, oh, you lost to this dude twice, you'll beat him the third time. They're kind of doing stuff like that, even though they're trying to be unpredictable in a way.
Yeah, but the thing is, the next time they give me give everyone Great Khan and Tanahashi, even if Great Khan wins, this old guy's still a loser. He lost twice because it won't be for the never belt. It's like the guy's still a loser.
Dude, at this point, why didn't they have Okan beat him at the Tokyo Dome if they're going to have him beat him here? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like,
they could have
beat him at the Tokyo Dome.
Khan could have beaten him at the Tokyo Dome. Tanahashi could have won the belt at the New Beginning show. And then they could have done Great Khan come out going, look, I'll beat you at Wrestle Kingdom. I'm going to fuck you up. Tanahashi, sure. And then Tanahashi could beat him here, sure. I don't honestly know what's going on. It's as if Gato ain't booking anymore because it doesn't feel like Gato booking.
Dude, I don't know who's booking. I don't know if they've given Tony Khan the pin now because I swear to God, I feel like that's kind of what's happening. It's like, hey, Tony Khan, book New Japan. I feel like you can do it because, hey, everybody that
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't think my fucking 13-year-old brother would book a fucking show like this. There's got to be someone worse. I reckon Vince has got his fingers on it.
Hey, I've booked many a shows on whether it be No Mercy, insert whatever wrestling video game here. I've booked many a shows, and the outcomes were way better than this, man.
Even when you just put it on Simulate without being without playing a character, just putting it on Simulate, right. You still get a better book. And that's the thing, though. It's like if there was direction, if they gave you a reason for the decision, you'd accept it and move on with your life. You'd be like, yeah, it was a good match. Tanahashi, would have made sense for Khan to win, but Tanahashi is going on to do this. Great Khan is going on to do this. It's like, no, there's a feud ender, and then what? We got New Japan Cup. Like, just because it's New Japan Cup, you can't just hit reset. Like, fuck.
And dude, honestly, okay, I'm gonna be real. This kind of ties into the penultimate match of the night, the three-way for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. I'm gonna be real. This was a really good match between these three guys, man. Go check this match out. They did a lot of stuff that I can't call right here. But I'm gonna be real. I know a lot of people on Twitter were like after the best of the Super Junior, which I'm a fan of him. I think El Desperado's a damn good wrestler. And I'm a fan of him. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say it again. The wrong decision was made right here. This was you. How can you not have El Phantasmo win this title right now? Like I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, wait. I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, he just not only does he win the title, does El Desperado, he like ultimately beats the main challenger in the junior heavyweight division, being El Phantasmo. So this great match, but the result to me ultimately made no sense because if you have El Desperado win, I love Bushi, but you have him pin Bushi to where El Desperado still sort of protected and he's not taking losses back to back to the same guy in like a couple days, dude. Like wrong decision, man. Like
Right, how about this? Fucking the match shouldn't have fucking took place because this should have been the best of Super fucking Juniors for the belt. Like, oh man, and it's the match itself. And again, that's the trouble with this show. It feels like we're on here talking about fucking WWE, how, you know, the wrestlers went out, busted their ass, put on good performances. It didn't make sense. And it was like for me, I'm a big fan of Despy, so it didn't bother me in the slightest. But I do get like Phantasmo going in there with Ibushi would be great, but then also saying that, you know, Despy, you know, we can't go, oh, you know, they're burying young guys. This is a great chance now to really put a rock, because El Phantasmo is already a star. You know, he's already established himself over in New Japan. Desperado, he's kind of that mid-card junior heavyweight, so pushing him up, I think, is a great booking decision. I'm going to go the opposite end of this one. I'm gonna go with, I think it's great booking, because just him being in there challenging for the world title at Budokan. With a few days to build, so basically no build. The card hasn't even been announced yet, and it's 72 hours away. But
can I just say something real quick? Okay, to interject though.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, cool.
I think I'm not against El Desperado winning the title right here. If Hiromu Takahashi is going to be out 6 months, me personally, I think the more money is have fucking El Phantasmo win the title and have El Desperado win the best.
Yeah, but he can. Yeah, but you could have Phantasmo beat. Win the best of Super Juniors, which he hasn't done yet, and then you could have him go out and then at Dominion challenge and knock off El Desperado, and then who comes out? Ticking time bomb.
Yes, now, because when's the last actual legit heel that's won best of the Super Juniors? There's not been a legit heel in a while that's won that tournament. What, since Prince Devitt? Like, he's got to do it now because. Like I feel like you could have had Desperado chase him, but I'm not against Desperado being the champion.
I'm against you on this one. I really rate the idea of Desperado. I think it's a chance to really establish him, especially with him being in the main event with Kota and for the IWGP Heavyweight title. It really does establish him as a star. He's obviously going. I mean, you know, who knows? You know, we could be walking out of Budokan with Despy as IWGP Heavyweight Champion, and we're going to unify fucking the Junior Heavyweight and the Junior Tag as well, and fucking get rid of those belts. But fucking no, I think it's great. I think it's generally really good. It's Phantasmo is a star who you can always rely on to, you know, get people interested. But why we've got the same guy? It's always Phantasmo Takahashi. It's always it's you know, we liked when they did show because it's something different, something fresh. You know, by having Desperado win. The story of him versus Ibushi after what happened in the New Beginning when he came back at Wrestle Kingdom 7-8 years ago, that's a good story on an anniversary show as well. That's a great backstory, and you know the crowd, you can root behind him. Kota Ibushi being a bit of a dickhead, El Desperado being that piece of shit he is, but you root for him because he's that big underdog. I think it's great. I really, really do, and I'm really looking forward to the match with Ibushi versus Desperado because I think it's going to be great.
Wait, it makes the junior heavyweight division a little bit more interesting. I'll be real.
Exactly, and I think we can get Despy against Bushi.
Bushi could win the title. I want Bushi to win the belt now. Honestly, Bushi needs to win that belt because this is the only time he can win it with Hiromu gone. So put the fucking belt on Bushi. I hope El Desperado has 0 defenses. I hope he loses it to Bushi. So that's just me putting that in the fucking universe right there. So
you son of a bitch. I hope Despy wins the fucking belt on Thursday.
Dude, I hope so too. Because honestly, you're talking about Kota Ibushi. Probably my most hated wrestler in New Japan right now. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
And that's... you be my favorite Naito. I don't like you.
No, it's not even that. But we'll get into that. Okay, it will get into that. But so main event
Great
time.
match though. Great match though. Everyone go check out the three-way. There was some really,
Yeah,
really, really, really good stuff in there, and it was a great moment seeing Desperado win. And I'm really looking forward to his title reign. And hopefully, it's a great one.
dude. So main event, man. IWGP Intercontinental Championship right here. Got Kota Ibushi defending his Intercontinental Championship for the first time because he wouldn't didn't ever have any plans on defending it. Separately. He was just trying to do them, double because that's what he was about. That's the life that he was on. Tempting. They say it's his third defense, but I'm gonna say it's his first defense in Intercontinental title, single by itself. Taking on, my opinion, best wrestler of all time, the greatest wrestler of all time, Tetsuya Naito, or the best hero of all time, right here. And this match is really fucking good, man. Like, it's different than a lot of their other matches. And Naito hitting Ibushi with some nasty stuff in this match, man, to where I should have seen the writing on the wall once Desperado won because I knew that the anniversary show was coming up in the week. And that's also too a thing that I kind of have a small gripe about because it's like, yeah, Kota Ibushi beats Naito. He retains the Intercontinental Championship, 27 minutes 50 seconds right here. Hits him with a couple of fucking Kamigoyes. He wins the title right here. And it's great. It's fine. Whatever. And I seen a lot of people. I'm gonna go in on Kota Ibushi. I'm about to go in real fast. Okay, so then I'm gonna throw it to you. I seen a lot of people criticizing that. Oh, Okada's a boring champion. He sucks as a champ. I'm gonna argue with Mike, dude. He's a way better champion than Kota Ibushi. I don't really. I know he's a good wrestler, great wrestler, but other than that, I don't really see the intrigue about him. I really don't. I mean, he's cool, I guess. I mean, he can wrestle great. That's fine. But other than that, this was ultimately fucked up when Geto should have put the belt on Tetsuya Naito in Wrestle Kingdom 12 because he should have done that then, and we wouldn't have had none of this double title bullshit because now the Intercontinental title is apparently Tokyo Sports is non-existent now, and that's kind of a shame, I guess, because now the Never Weight title is the like second title in New Japan, so I don't really know what they're doing, and it's just I don't know, man. I don't like it. I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like if you're gonna have, I know because he's my favorite wrestler, of course, so I'm gonna be a little sort of biased. But dude, if you're gonna have Naito be in this position again to have him just lose, and now like what does he do now? He is like further down on the line than I don't even know what now. You didn't even have to have him challenge for it. It's kind of like Sonata last month. You didn't need to have Sonata challenge for that title right then and there, right then, but you went ahead and was like, oh, Sonata needs a challenge for the belt now, and it just wasted any momentum that Sonata had. Naito virtually had no momentum because he was wrestling fucking Tamaki Homa through these whole tours, and then you're just like, oh, y'all shoehorn him in this title match, and it's just like, oh, well, we assume he's going to save the titles. He doesn't. Titles merge. I'm like, why the fuck did y'all even have this match then? Like, y'all just kind of hate to even say this, and I say this sound like if y'all just kind of that is ultimately this y'all just buried Naito even more. Like y'all didn't even need to fucking add this match. This match is fucking great. They always have great matches. It's they're going to have great matches. What Kota Ibushi Naito do, but Naito's so far down the card now. This match didn't need to have fucking happen. You could have had this match with anybody, I guess, if y'all wanted to. Why didn't he just unit? He could have unit. Y'all could have if y'all would have had this match happen down towards I don't know before G1 like Dominion or something, and he would have beat Naito. I'm like, all right, cool. Naito's like, all right, I'm trying to save the Intercontinental title, last ditch effort. Cool, I understand that, but to just have it so soon and then just have Naito lose, and it's like, all right, the titles are unified now. It ultimately, I think, is a fucking bullshit decision. I think Kota Ibushi's a fucking boring ass champion. Like he's a great wrestler, but if people are not shitting on Kota Ibushi, but we're shitting on Okada, in my opinion, are fucking hypocrites. They just don't like Okada because he's virtually the same thing, if not like two notches lesser. Okada's a way more interesting champion than this guy. I can't wait till New Japan gets the belt off of him because he should have had the belt a long time ago. But that's once again Ghetto not putting the belt on Naito, so you can't put the belt on Naito right there, and you can't put the belt on Kota Ibushi. So ultimately, this is all Kenny Omega's fault. So fuck Kenny Omega. So I'm done with my little mini rant. Okay, this is ultimately bullshit. They just buried Naito even more than they needed to. Like they didn't need to have this happen. Great match, but they didn't need to have it happen.
Yeah, great match. Really, really good match. I love the fact there wasn't that many. There was no stupid apron fucking moves, minus the German off the second row, which was sketchy as shit. and scared the fuck out of me. There was also another standing German. There was one where Ibushi got with the Goro, which dropped in Marta's head. So I'm glad no one's fucking broken necked, which is always the concern after Naito and Ibushi, that someone's going to be hurt. But they went out there, they wrestled a great match. Like you said, they're always going to have. They're never going to have a bad match. It's just they're just that talented and great chemistry. But yeah, the never open weight belt is the belt where it's special because you can have juniors fight for it, and I see it as a hard hitters title as well as the title where juniors can transition into a heavyweight. So you can have guys like Will Ospreay, Shingo, etc., who can go up, challenge for it, and then move on. That's what I was hoping Hiromu was going to do. He's going to challenge for the never open weight belt and then move up to heavyweight division. That now is going to become what the IC title was, which is secondary shows, big time title matches where guys like, are we now going to see Naito go up against Tanahashi? Are we gonna get Okada now scrambling for that never open weight title? Like the idea of a mid card belt is it to help mid carders, you know, and I guess in a way it does. But the never open weight belt has its own kind of signature to it, and it's special because it's that. Like when I see a never open weight title match, it's like cool. You know, you expect hard hitting action, some good mat work, some good tech work, and then also at the same time, you know, it's a big title for guys like Ospreay and Shingo. Without that, they wouldn't be heavyweights. But now that's going to become the mid card belt, and yeah, it makes the IWGP heavyweight title more prestigious. But fuck, you know, a mid card belt with a roster this deep is really important because then you can kind of judge. You can go, like for example, these two shows. You could have had night 1 the IC title match, night 2 the IWGP heavyweight title match. That would have made this show much more fucking important than night 1 being, because you have a title match. If Okada and Evil was for the IC title, that would have meant much, much more, and I guarantee you attendance numbers would have been higher. But now they just removed it, and it's a shame because, you know, there's a lot of history to that belt. And it is a damn shame, and I agree with you, it shouldn't have ended. And it sucks because the wrestling on this show was very good. From top to bottom, really good, but just I don't get it. I don't kind of get what's going on, and I think this could be where they're kind of like we touched upon the Forbidden Door. They're kind of not booking traditional New Japan way because they're booking for other stuff, which presumably is going to happen. Like, are we going to get AEW guys in this New Japan Cup? We're going to get Impact guys, lots of different stuff. But yeah, the match itself was great. Glad, but no one's injured. Fuck them for getting rid of this IC title bout because that was something I was really looking forward to seeing come back into play. Like the fact that, yeah, cool, the belt's back. We can start having these, you know, 2 big title matches on the show, making it feel really big. Or if you're gonna do this 2-day bullshit, have one night with the IC title main event, one night with the heavyweight title. But yeah, we move. It's one of those where it's gonna be tough to get used to not seeing that belt around.
Because I bet you this, LK, going on and further in 2021 and hell even 2022, dude, I bet you fucking Pro Wrestling Noah is going to book the national title as it should be. It's going to book it correctly, dude. Like I mean, you could. I just don't understand the decision. This is like, okay, I get it. Y'all want to have y'all fucking jerk off Omega, fucking Ibushi match. That's understandable. I don't. I ultimately don't care. It's gonna be a fucking flip fest and all that shit. That's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a fucking Meltzer's gonna fucking nut his pants and all that good shit. So yeah, we'll sit back and that match will happen, and all the fucking internet lose their fucking mind, and I'll just be like, okay, it was all right, I guess. Like, I mean, what? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not fans of either one of those dudes. So what the fuck do you want me to say?
Yeah, it's just really strange because, you know, on all of the road 2 shows we've done together and what you've done is kind of been really positive about the Castle Attack show. We're like, yeah, this could be good. You know, Knight is going to save the IC title. You know, Great Khan's going to become a star. Hashi and Goto are going to, you know, kind of break out, and finally Hashi can have that big moment that he's deserved after a killer 2020 and killer 2021 so far. But they made Hashi lose 2 nights in a row. And then also you've had, you know, Great Khan lose here. You had Naito lose, the IC title now gone. You kind of lost more than you gained from this show. You lost a lot more than what you gained, which isn't the point of wrestling. But, man, if I'm sorry everyone who listens because they have a positive vibe of New Japan and they know they can come here for that positive vibe. But we said And we, believe it or not, we've said many times on this show, when the show's good, we'll say the show's good. When the show's bad, we will say the show's bad. And this wasn't a bad show by any stretch. The wrestling, I give it a win. Like, the wrestling is a win. These guys went out there, they killed it. They had some really, really good matches. Especially the IC title match, the junior heavyweight title match was good. And the tag title was good, never open weight was good. Just fuck me. The booking was just, what the fuck is going on? It's really strange because New Japan are normally. Do you reckon Uncle Davey Boy gave Tony Khan the win over Gato, and now Gato's like, fuck him, and he's just trying to fucking. That's what you get, Dave. You know, he made sure the show started extra early for you guys in America just to fuck him up.
I could see it. I mean, he's just like, oh, look, you want to give him this? Okay, I'll do this. So, no, I could definitely see it.
But yeah, it's a shame, and the fact that they didn't even give it like a formal retirement is a bit bullshit as well. Like, if they did like a thought on the show, kind of like Ibushi saying, you know, this IC title is prestigious, but you know, it's come to an end. We're having one belt. I'd have been like, yeah, that's a big moment, and the title belt deserves that at least. And like, if you're listening to this and you're not really a fan of pro, obviously you're gonna be a fan of pro wrestling. But if you're just a normal human being, really watching this, going, why are these guys upset about a belt that's not even a legitimate belt? Like, it's tough to explain to someone. Like, I couldn't picture going to, you know, one of my mates like, oh, I'm really upset today because the IWGP Intercontinental Championship is no longer in existence. Like, they'll be like, mate, it's not a real belt, move on with your life. But you know what I mean? It is sad because the amount of emotional attachment and matches that you can relate to it is sad, especially when it can do so much for so many people. Like, imagine if Ospreay won this belt, how much credibility that would do for him. You know, it's a damn shame, but we're gonna have to move. We move. That's
Yeah.
You know, we're not going. We won't. This New Japan is like a football team, a soccer team. You know, they're going for a rough patch. There's some bad management going on. They might sack the coach, but hopefully the players are still playing well. They just kind of need some better direction, some better strategies. Because yeah, that's some questionable booking. Like, Vince wouldn't even do some of that stuff.
Yeah, that was.
Mate,
Man.
next this 2021 on the Observer polls, I want to see Vince Gato on the fucking Booker of the Year.
So didn't what does that do for the U.S. title now? Because we all know the result from the U.S. title match, which was fucking stupid as well. But it's like, okay, so what? What is the U.S. like? Is that the like the mid card title now? Because
No, that's going to be. I reckon I'm still sticking with my guns that's going to be for the New Japan Strong brand. That's what I'm sticking with. I think that. Excuse me, that's just going to be defended exclusively in America, and Kenta's coming back for the New Japan Cup. And if he's in the New Japan Cup, presumably he's not going to win it. So if he loses to someone, he owes them a US title match. So maybe that's why they kept Moxley with the belt.
yeah, they're probably gonna put it on Juice Robinson again, which is fucking boring as well. But whatever. Hey, like, hey,
Give it to
whatever.
Kenny.
Y'all do it. Y'all.
Give it to Kenny. They can unify the belt with Kota. Get rid of that belt as well.
Yeah, at this point, if y'all gonna do some stupid shit like this, man, just put the fucking belt on fucking Switchblade and let's call it a day, man. Let's just stop pity patting with the bullshit. Put the belt on Switchblade and fuck everybody else, because you're not gonna be giving Naito the belt again. So just put the belt on Switchblade. So I mean, that's because yeah, I mean, there's no more Intercontinental title. Y'all fucking did some dumb shit with that. And you know, at this point, and also too, I'm glad you brought this up. Okay, with him wrestling Despy on what, Thursday, they're just giving Kota Ibushi fucking so many padded defenses. It's kind of getting annoying now. It's like, okay, he beat somebody in Sonata who wasn't going to beat him. It was questionable that Naito could take the Intercontinental title from him. He beat Naito, so he had a defense right there. Now he's going to beat El Desperado. It's like, dude, these padded defenses are kind of fucking lame, in my opinion. He don't have no fucking challengers. He don't have no fucking threats. Honestly, and as much as unpredictable they trying to be right now, I ain't trying to shoot on New Japan. They kind of fucking boring to me. Like, it's because I almost was like, dude, this is boring now. Like, this is. I'm like, wow, y'all kind of lost me with this show. But of course, I'm still going to watch because I want to see what's going to happen. But this show, it was good wrestling, but the decisions ultimately lost me. I was just like, this is kind of stupid. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. But whatever. Hey, it's not my company, so I can't book it.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is, and I just hope people just still check the show out as if they can enjoy good wrestling, if they, as long as they can look past some of the bad booking.
Yeah, it's because bad booking was abound on this show, my friend. So, oh man. So, hey, rest in peace to the Intercontinental title. Apparently, so apparently it's
Dude,
no more.
we'll give it a good send off. We'll give it a good
You know,
send off. Everyone
thank,
have a swig of whiskey tonight for the IC title belt.
we got to thank for that. We got to thank Kota Ibushi for that. So, thank everybody's favorite wrestler.
Dude, that's the thing. I don't hate Ibushi. I don't hate his title reign. I mean, the build to him versus Sonata was fucking abysmal. The build for this was all right. Because I thought, cool, we're gonna get that IC title belt and we can focus on the world title belt with Ibushi, and Naito can go on. I was really looking forward to Dominion Naito versus Ospreay. Something like that. But no, we get Tanahashi again in the never open weight title. Oh, mate, they're going to do Naito Tanahashi. You watch. You fucking watch. They're going to do Naito versus Naito's like, you know what? In 2021, I've challenged for the heavyweight. I was heavyweight champion. Now I'm down to challenging for the never belt, and he's going to fucking lose.
Of course he's going to lose, man. They might as well just put the never open weight 6-man straps on Naito and just call it a day and be like, oh, he's got the belt, guys. Relax.
Ugh. But yeah, strange booking, but good shows. Check them out, everyone. Yeah, probably time to wrap up, D. Before we start sending depressed vibes to everyone.
Sure, man. You know what it is, dude. Great show as far as wrestling wise. Booking wise, maybe not so much. But hey, we digress. We move on, and we should be on to Kota Ibushi getting another defense for his title. So that's something for, I guess, us to be happy about because I guess he's interesting or something. But hey, it is what it is. But New Japan Cup's coming up Friday, so I can at least be excited for the New Japan Cup. So there's that.
Should we do preview of the anniversary show tomorrow and then a preview of New Japan Cup on Tuesday? Does that sound like a shout?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Absolutely. So remember, guys, to check those videos out. And then Thursday will obviously be New Japan and a 49th anniversary show recap. Hopefully booking's better. And then Friday, complete coverage of the New Japan Pro Wrestling New Japan Cup will be found right here on this channel. I promise you we're not always this negative Nelly when the show's great. We will tell you with all our hearts that the show is great. This is probably the first show in a while we've been this down about the product. So hopefully it's just a bad day at the office for Gato and we get back to normal ways soon. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll be catching your asses down the line.